Samuel in the kart here, going for a move. He has 3 karts in front of him, going through the left, right, can't quite make it work, and has someone on the inside, but then on the exit they're all slow, and he goes by 3 of them. An overtake on 3 karts, very well done. And let's see what Samuel can do in his stint. Hello everyone, welcome to the final stint of the 24 Hours of Lelystad. I am on the left here. I've just done this pit stop with Samuel, waiting for him to go out. It's the final 45 minutes ish of this race, and then we've done the 2026 24 Hours of Lelystad. And as you can see in the top right, we have his personal best, 42.36, and our position, we're in P16, even better than I thought. The previous stints, I thought we were around P25ish, P22, but we're doing a lot better. P16, as Samuel now is going out of the pit lane, and he's being very careful not to be in the way of anyone. Stays on the right, goes on throttle, and then goes to try and follow the guys in front. It's gonna be interesting to see how his driving style affects this final stint. Maybe he can gain a position. We are definitely trying not to lose any position, but some people are a bit slower. How will he overtake? How quick will he overtake into this final stint? He of course has a bit of cold tires, so we have to wait. Now it wasn't really visible, but every lane only had 1 kart in and in pit lane, so that means they're running out of karts, but that also means we might have a good kart, we might have a bad kart. We'll see. The first lap of course are very slow, as it includes the pit time, so we'll have to wait another lap to find out how Samuel is going about this first lap. But he does look quite decent. His racing lines are quite nice to see and are almost the same as mine, so that might mean our times might be quite close. My final stint with a very good kart, a few 42s, but 43 lows would also be very good for Samuel. 43 highs with traffic also decent. We'll have to wait and see what his lap times are, how aggressive he is. Now I am a very aggressive driver. I've noticed, especially that final stint, I'll just send it down the inside of anyone that I can. That might not be the style of Samuel. We'll see that when he overtakes his first few karts. His first lap, 43.719. That is a decent lap time, so he is doing well already on his first lap. Now the sun is out of course, so that means the tires will warm up a little bit better than when in the night, and that means that tire warm-up won't be as big of a problem. It will mean that the tires can overheat a bit quicker, so you have to be careful that you don't drive too quickly or make too many mistakes, slide the kart and make the tires way too hot. But now Samuel is catching up. Someone in black, someone in white and green. He's going for the double overtake into the final hairpin. Has to use a lot of curb though to not hit the guy in green and white. Has a bad exit, and now the guy in black is side by side on the left, going into turn 1. He just slips past, so he'll have to wait a little bit longer to try and go for that overtake again. Going through the next left, and there isn't quite enough room, and I might have sent it down the inside, but it is a sensible way to wait for that gap to open up again to make sure this is going to be a clean overtake. And the guy in black now gaining on that guy in green and white. Maybe he can help Samuel overtake the guy in green and white, because that guy is slower than the both of them. But the fighting, they're again slow onto that final corner. Samuel waiting to see what happens, make sure he has a good exit side by side with the guy in green and white. His engine not good enough, and suddenly someone on the left, the blue flag group, one of the quickest teams of this year's 24-hour race, so they're just slipping past. No point in fighting them. Maybe following them through would be sensible, as they should go for a move quite soon. And on to the first right-hander here. They send it down the inside of the guy in green and white. Has a bad exit because of that, but Samuel can't really do anything about it and tries to switch back through the left-hander. Doesn't work out, and through the left-right, sticking behind, not having a great exit. So this engine of Samuel doesn't look like the greatest. It looks decent, but onto the straight he is getting bad exits, so it's definitely not the greatest engine that he could have had. You can see the guy in green and white just driving away onto the whole straight. Only at the end it seems to be a little bit more stable, That's unfortunate for Samuel not having that greatest engine, but he'll do anything to do as quick a pace as he can, and we'll have to wait and see to the end of the race where we end up. If we can hold on to that 16th, that would be great. Through the right-hander though, the guy in green and white was very slow. Samuel tries around the outside, doesn't quite work out, has to have a good exit through the left-right again. The guy in green and white very slow, but the engine of him is just a lot better. That means Samuel can't really do anything as he drives away onto the straight, and Samuel needs the whole lap catch back up just to lose that time again. He needs a mistake of the guy in front to get past, or maybe some traffic. Someone in red in front of them does seem very slow, so he might be able to use that traffic if he slows the guy down. Through the left-hander they are going to catch up massively, but not an opportunity yet. And then through the right-hander, someone in red down the inside of Samuel, side by side now. That's not what we want. We want him to overtake, to get away. The guy in red overtaken by the green and white guy, and that means Samuel can follow him through. A bad exit from the guy in front. Still, he can see he gains a bit of time on Samuel, goes wide through the final corner, but Samuel can't stay side by side, has to stick into the slipstream and just loses 2 kart lengths immediately. This is so bad for Samuel, losing time to a guy that is slower, but he can't help it with his engine. Although he gets a great run now at the end of the right-hander, but no room to go for the inside line there, so he sticks behind. The guy goes wide, a switchback side by side, but the guy has the inside of the next corner, still trying to stick around the outside, doesn't work, and the guy is now defending. Samuel dives down the inside though, there's enough room, and through the left-right he's on the inside, shoves him wide, makes sure he is shut out, and that's a good move from Samuel. Now hopefully he has a bit of room, has a bit of time to drive away, has a good exit onto the straight. That has cost him a bit of time, a few laps into the 44s, but now he can push again, has some clear air in front, and will try to get back into the 43s as he has had very good pace throughout this race, throughout these 24 hours. His quickest lap of 42.8, only a tenth slower than mine, and I think he was third, maybe fourth fastest of the team, so that is quite good. We had 9 drivers, so he is at the top end of the team, doing really well, and he's gonna try to get back to his quick pace. This engine though might mean he won't make it into the 42s, which of course is okay. He can now learn the kart, learn its strength, learn its weaknesses, because he can't when he is in traffic. When you have someone in front, you can't really learn everything you can do with the kart, so a few free laps will help with that. Although we do see someone in front now that we are catching, so we'll have a few more corners, maybe a lap, and then we'll have some more traffic, and we'll have to see how Samuel gets past. It's always very interesting to see how someone gets past traffic, maybe something we can learn. We'll have to see as we go through the long left-hander and then into the left-right. We're gonna have someone in a fully black racing suit past on the outside. They are very quick. Samuel lets them through. We're gonna try to follow them as we have more people in front, not just the guy that we saw earlier. There's about 3-4 cars in front of the guy in black. Maybe we can follow him through, and through turn 1 we actually get past the first person. They were very wide, a very easy overtake. Someone in blue then gets overtaken by the guy in black. Samuel sticks behind and can't quite make the move yet, so have to wait a little bit longer. Through the right-hander sticking very close behind, and then through the left-hander we're gonna try to make a move, even though we're coming from far away. They leave us the room, go wide, and through the left-right we're already past. Good overtake from Samuel, a little bit more aggressive than on the guy in green and white, thinking he needs to get past a little bit quicker, I think. Of course I don't know what he's thinking in the kart, just looking from the outside. His lap times in the 43s, so that's what he needs to do to keep position and maybe try to get to P15 as he is within a lap of the guy in front, and he's gonna try to close that gap as quickly as he can. Hopefully he can do it before the end of the stint. We might not be able to. The gap is shrinking, but it is only shrinking quite slowly, and if he gets overtaken, loses time like through the left-right here, the guy in front from a very quick team though, but if he loses too much time then he might not be able to catch the guy before the end of the race. But that is fine. P16, our highest finish ever if if we would get that, but we would love to finish up even higher. There's 6 pro teams in front, not in our class, so we would now be 10th on the road. That would be very nice in class. Still trying to get better though, so we keep on pushing for these a little bit less than last 30-25 minutes, as we have someone in black in front. Samuel can't quite go for a move immediately, but then onto the long left-hander, tries to look to the inside, can't quite work it out, and we'll have to stick behind. But this guy is a little bit slower than Samuel. Through the left, right, a good exit there, can't quite make it work. Everyone is now defending positions like crazy, as we are in the last minutes of the race. No one willing to give up that final spot that they might need to keep to get a better position, as a lot of people don't have communications with pit lane. Through the left-hander, trying to look a little bit of contact. Now someone on the outside of Samuel. Everyone just going for everything that they can. They're not making a move into the left-hander though, so that is good. And Samuel can now try to close back up to the guy in black in front of him, but the guy behind him still quite close. So let's see what Samuel does. Through the long left-hander, trying to catch back up, and then through the left-right, noticing he doesn't have the pace, and lets the guy through on the inside. He's wearing a Ferrari jacket, might be quite quick, or it looks like a Ferrari jacket. At least the guy thanks him by raising his arm. Now Samuel will try to copy his lines, follow him as closely as possible. Maybe the guy in front can help him get past the guy in the black suit. That might work out quite well. Samuel still able to stick quite close behind, only one card length. Through the left-hander, even catching up there, so that does look quite good. The guy in red has a great engine though, or it looks like a great engine, especially compared to Samuel. Still sticking behind the guy in black, following a little bit of a train now. The guy in red does look a bit slower, holds up Samuel through the left-right, costs him a bit of time, and there is a train forming also in front of the guy in black, who makes a mistake on the exit, but the guy in red can't quite use that to get through and to slow the guy down. Still nothing to do here through the first couple of turns. This is costing quite a bit of time, I think, although the last lap of 43.5, not that slow. The guy goes down the inside of the left-hander. The guy in black tries to switch back, doesn't quite work out, and now it's the turn of Samuel, but the guy in black coming back at the guy in red, trying to do a switchback, and he now on the outside of the guy in red. That leaves an opening for Samuel, but not too much. A bit of contact, costing a bit of time again to Samuel, so this stint not working out the way he wants probably. He is still doing decent on lap time, but he is being held up there. Gonna see when he goes on the start finish and across the line. 44.2, so this is now costing him time, but there's a huge train in front of him. I think at least 10 cars in there. The guy in red now taking off, the guy in black right in front of Samuel, and through the left-hander, still no room for a move. He is a bit wide though, but that doesn't matter. Still no room to get through, and this traffic might help to get past Samuel. Now on the long left-hander, decides to just send it, and now is past the guy in black, and that is very good. 2 guys in red in front. The guy with the red helmet is the one that Samuel led through. He goes down the inside with the white helmet, and now Samuel onto the straight, side by side, with the engine letting him down, and before even reaching turn 1, the guy with the white helmet is back in front, so Samuel will have to think of something else. Through the first couple of turns, looking towards the inside, the guy with the white helmet is a bit wide, still no room to dive through. Someone else diving through and gets past the guy with the white helmet. Samuel can follow him through. Quick guy in front. Let's see how long we can stick behind, or how long Samuel can stick behind. There's about 3-4 wide into the long left-hander there. That's 2 by 2 now into the left-right. Samuel tries to go for a move, not on the guy in front, but to someone else, but the guy in front holding him up a little bit. That is fine though. Guy with the gray helmet now in front of Samuel has a decent exit there, but Samuel sticking behind, hoping there will be a little bit of room later on. There's no room through the first couple of turns, although Samuel is now side by side, and it's gonna be on the outside of the right-hander, and is through now when they reach the left-hander. So now Samuel can look in front, someone in full black again. They're on the inside, Samuel on the outside, can't switch to the inside, so he has someone down his inside. That distracts the person in front. Samuel uses that through the long left-hander to get past them, but that was a good move. A little bit of room room in front. Let's see if he can escape from the people behind and get to the next person in front. 2 persons in front overtaking him, so they would get away from him. 44-2 last lap. That's not that great. Let's see how long it takes for Samuel to get back into another fight. Now Samuel has caught up, everyone in front battling a lot, even though they do seem quicker. The guy in the blue jacket holding everybody up, they can't seem to find a way past. So now Samuel goes onto the outside of the corner, all 3 of them being held up, and Samuel threw on all 3 of them. That's a very good move. The question is, will they catch back up? Because of course at least one of them was very quick. That means Samuel will have to look behind for a little bit longer, but still also pushing towards the front. Let's see if we can get to the next 2 people, as they do seem to be fighting. So that might make an opportunity to catch up quite quickly. Through the left-hander, decent exit, but on the right-hander, one of the 2 that was overtaken in the 3-way overtake comes back past. They seem very comfortable in their kart, so of course they're gonna go back past Samuel and gonna extend that gap. Samuel of course will still try to maintain that gap, try to stick as closely as possible, but with a car that is not that great, that's not gonna work out too well. Let's see how long it takes for Samuel to get into the next battle. Now we have reached the next bit of traffic. The person that overtook Samuel still in front, quite close. They were held up as well. There was an easy overtake. Now someone with a white helmet, red shirt, side by side with Samuel, the long left-hander here. He's on the outside, tries to switch back, doesn't quite work out, but he still sticks in there. Can't make the move though, but he does try to switch back onto the final corner. This guy defending very hard, goes in a defensive line. Samuel tries to switch back again, has a bit of oversteer on exit, and the guy gets away a little bit, so that's a bit unfortunate there, but he will still try to fight it and will try to go for that move. Samuel definitely a bit quicker than this guy, quite a bit quicker actually. And then when we go for the left-hander, he can't quite dive for the inside. The guy still has good braking points. That makes it quite difficult. Through the right-hander, sticking behind, making sure to get a good exit. When we go to the long left-hander again on the outside, doesn't quite work out. A better switchback this time though, a little bit more alongside. Then through the corner, can't stick side by side. We'll have to wait a little bit longer to make that move to the inside of the final corner. Doesn't work out, the guy goes wide. Samuel gets waved through, but the guy sticks on throttle, so can't go through. So that is really weird. Samuel a bit annoyed, the guy in front looking annoyed, although he can't do anything about this, Samuel, because he is just quicker, but the guy is fighting him again. Now on the left-hander, he sticks and waits for Samuel to get past, so he stops defending. Maybe he heard from the team that it wasn't for position and it was only costing him time, so he let him through. But we immediately see 4 people in front again, one of them of course being the person that overtook Samuel. One of them now made a mistake through the left-right. The person in full red is being overtaken and being quite slow, so that might be the next target for Samuel. Going on to the start-finish straight, only about 25 minutes to go. No one right behind Samuel. The guy in red still fighting with the person in front with the white helmet. Samuel catching up rapidly through the first couple of turns here, and if they're this slow, they might be easy prey for Samuel. Through the left-hander, getting even closer, a bit of oversteer, but that is fine, and probably a little bit of a battle going on as they now go side by side. The guy in white going through. Samuel dives towards the inside of the long left-hander and gets past as well. Is the guy in front of Samuel slower or faster? They look a bit slower, but there's not quite enough room to dive down the inside of the final corner, so he has to stick behind for a little bit. The gap of course getting quite big onto start-finish straight, as that is still that bad engine from Samuel. But through the first couple of turns, he is catching up quite a lot again, and through the right-hander, he hits him a bit, does a switch back, but that hit actually lets him through, so Samuel apologizes but gets through and is now on to the next person that is a little bit further away but goes very wide. They might not be that quick, and that means Samuel will probably get past quite soon. Guy in the blue jacket, maybe the one that held up the guys for the triple overtake, but goes wide, and Samuel can go on to the inside of the final corner, gets past really quite quickly, which he needs to do. But now there's a couple of meters, quite a lot, about the first 2 turns before he catches up to the next couple of people. Now in the meantime, between my last stint and this final stint, there's not been happening a lot. We've been pushing flat out, everyone has been doing quite well, but the gaps have stayed the same. Position 16 is where we about expected to end up at this time. We do still have a chance of catching the person in front of us. They're about 40 seconds in front if I remember correctly, so if Samuel can gain about a second a lap, maybe 2 seconds a lap, then he will catch them. But it all depends on traffic, on pit stops, and everything still to come. Guys in front do seem to be driving away, so Samuel might have a few laps where he can do his own thing, not worry about anyone else, which always is nice, especially at the end of the race when we're trying to get to that finish line in as quick a way as possible. Of course, we've been trying to be as quick as possible the whole race. He can also see a few cars stricken around the track, just being in the grass. They've all broken down, not working anymore, but they can't get them easily back to pit lane while the race is going on, so just leave them there until the race finishes. And now Samuel going to that final corner, last lap 43.5, low 43 is what he needs to be doing to get closer to the person in front. This lap 43.229, that's also decent. We're gonna try to catch as quickly as possible. Of course, the time running down, just about 20 minutes remaining in this race. That is quite a lot of laps, but of course not that many compared to the 1710 laps we have done already. Loads of laps in this 24 hours. As you can see, a lot of fun. We've had a great time as a team, and that is the most important thing, and we'll be back next year definitely. The question question is, will it be one team? We might go for a second team, a team that's going to get as high as possible, and a more fun team, a more relaxed. I hope to be driving for the team going for as high as a position as possible. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. For now, we have still to finish this 24 hours 2026 edition. Of course, we had a trauma Haley and a red flag during this race. Good to hear that the person is fine. We heard after the race, so in about 20-25 minutes, that the person is fine, that he's okay, and that everything is fine. He's just gone home, and that is great to hear. No injuries sustained in this 24 hours that are going to be permanent. Just some sore backs, a lot of muscle ache for me, and that is fine. I can deal with that. Samuel's still going on, and we'll go and look at how quickly he can get that train in front, because I think there's 6 people now in that train. The person in front, the slowest, it's actually 5 people, but that's also fine, of course. Let's see if Samuel can carve through them. Of course, he needs to catch up first. He needs a bit more pace for that. Probably at the end of the lap, he's gonna be close if he doesn't make any more mistakes. Still someone also behind him. I do think the gap is growing behind though, so it won't be an issue for now. Going through the left right here, one of my favorite corners in all of karting. You can really take a lot of speed if you do it well, get a great exit and go on to that final little straight before you enter the final hairpin. 43.185 lap time for Samuel. That gap not coming down as quickly as I would have thought, but that of course means the guys in front are just a bit quicker than I thought. That always happens. Either you catch up way quicker than you think, or it takes a little bit longer. Gaps just fluctuating quite a bit, and that also makes it very interesting, these races. Of course, 24 hours is a very long time. You're gonna lap a lot of people quite a few times, but a few times, or in the case of the pro teams, they have lapped us quite a bit. Still catching up though through that final part of the lap, and they're now in a range where I think a move will be on the next lap, and if he's smart, he surprises them with a quick move. But of course, you need to have the space to do that, need to have the place to do that. Someone coming out of pit lane right in front, that is a quick person. I think Samuel is going to try to make a move onto that left-hander, doesn't quite have the ability to, and sticks behind 3 wide now into that right-hander. No space for Samuel to make a move, trying to follow one of them through so he can overtake the other one. The blue guy goes on the outside, doesn't quite work out, and now Samuel trying to get through on the left-right, sticking side by side into the entry, doesn't work out, is still sticking behind. That means he's losing contact to the people in front. Someone just out of pit lane can just ruin your plans, change the whole complexion of the stint, as we do a 44.9, quite a slow lap, battling with the 2 guys in front. And I do think that the guy with the blue suit is quite quick. Samuel might need to work together, but then through the left-hander he can actually send it down the inside. Quick move, good move through the right-hander, can't quite make it work on the guy in red sticking behind. He's gonna dive down the inside of the next corner, the long left-hander, and in the space of 3 corners he's made up what he lost the last lap. 2 overtakes, and now he can go for a new quick lap and try to catch up to the next couple of guys. Does need a good exit through that final corner to not invite the guys he's just overtaken back through on the straight, but he is managing to pull ahead now. 43.5, decent lap time. Let's see how long it takes to catch up again to the next guy. I think it's a white helmet, but they might be also overtaking someone, and in front of them still more karts, so lots of action still to come in these final couple of laps. Only 22 laps to go if I've counted correctly, so that's not that long. We'll have to wait and see how many people we can still overtake. It might not be for position. The gap still 20 seconds and 20 laps to go. A little bit more might make it impossible. It needs to be at least a second a lap, and they are maintaining the same kind of pace as we are, so it will be very difficult to even gain another position. For now, just going on to the next lap, going through the first couple of turns and catching someone when we go through the right-hander. Only a couple more meters, 4 or 5 kart lengths. They're definitely not as quick as Samuel, number 13 on the back, and we're gonna try to get past as quickly as possible through the right-hander, even before the braking zone, alongside enough to get by. Quick overtake there from Samuel. Now we were talking about the the gap in front, but behind of course quite a lot of karts as we're in P16. But unless we DNF or make a big mistake and lose a load of laps, we will be finishing in this position, at least not lower. So that is good to know that we're quite safe. But through turn 1 we can see a lot of karts in front, a big train, and this means there's gonna be quite a few overtakes before we even reach the end of the race. And Samuel is now closing up, the white helmet going down the inside of the green helmet. Samuel doing a great job following him through, but he needs to get past the white helmet through the right hander. He can't, but he has a good exit, dives down the inside of the long left hander, 2 overtakes, 2 corners. That was really well done. And now we're looking ahead to the 2 guys in red. They are battling though, so we'll have to be careful when guys are going side by side. It's very difficult to sneak through, but these guys don't seem that quick. Samuel checks behind to be sure, no one there though, so he can do his own thing, catching up through the first couple of turns, of 2 of them going side by side. The guy in red going through, a bit of bunching up, a bit of hitting each other. That's gonna happen at this stage of the race. Everyone just being very close, everyone getting by the guy in black. Samuel still stuck behind though a bit, has a really bad exit, loses a lot of time and can't get through on the long left hander. Through the left right, needs to make sure to have a good exit to have a chance to overtake. He does, and now he's going down the inside of the final corner. Make sure to signal he's going to. He almost hits one of the guys in red, but he manages to slip past, and now he's going to look onto how to get past them. The guy in the white helmet tries to fight it, but he can't, and that means Samuel now definitely through. Guys in front looking, guys in red going side by side. That slows both of them down, and into the left hander. One of them is overtaken, but they still try to hang it around the outside. Turns towards the inside of the next corner. Samuel can't stay side by side, has to wait a bit, but through the long left hander dives again to get past. They're side by side, guy in black right in front. A lot of contact, still fighting it and still going down the inside. Person in black going defensive, doesn't want to allow anyone through. Samuel on the straight, and again the guy in red, you can see he is just trying to get past, and now someone else on the right trying to get by Samuel, probably someone that is quicker, trying to get by but doesn't quite manage on the straight. So now the question is, will Samuel be first to overtake or to be overtaken? The person in black gets overtaken by the person in red, kind of trying to go down the middle, doesn't quite work out. Finger whack from the guy in red, like no, that's not how we do it here. But that of course was not the intention of Samuel to hit him like that, and now he's gonna try to overtake. The guy in red might be a bit quicker, not quite sure, but Samuel is sticking behind quite easily, so he might be quicker, and we'll see what happens. They are gaining on some other traffic. Guy in blue, another guy in red, lots of red clothes today in this final stint. The guy in blue comes in the pit lane, so that's good, no problems there. And now we're just looking at how quickly we can catch the next people. The guy in red in front does look a little bit quicker, and Samuel now in the trenches again. 2 people trying to overtake him, they're right behind. He doesn't want to give up position, but especially doesn't want to lose any pace, because that gap is now stable at 20 seconds behind the guy. So he lets 2 people through, trying to follow them and not lose too much time. That 20-second gap of course being to P15, with a little bit more than 10 minutes to go on track until the checkered flag. Will he be able to get any closer, or will he have to settle onto P16? The guy in front gives him a thumbs up because he got a push from Samuel. He had a bad exit, but now they're both stuck with someone in black right in front. They're gonna try to overtake. Samuel again a better exit than the guy in front, almost 3 wide, just managed to slip through on the guy in front, but can't make a move on the guy in black. The guy he just overtook back down his inside. This is costing both of them time. You can see one of them, the guy in front, actually shaking his head, not happy with that, but he is being slow in the overtake. The guy in black taking behind him through the left right, setting up a move through the final corner, going down the inside, and that's very good because Samuel can follow him through. Looking behind, seeing the gap grow, he knows he has gotten it done and can now drive away from my friend, including this lap. 15 laps to go, so the time is flying by. We're almost done. Let's see how long it takes to get into some more action, as there's a few groups in front of Samuel. It's been a couple of laps. Samuel has caught up to someone in all red. They made a big mistake. He got very wide. He needs to get past quickly and through the long left-hander, immediately diving down the inside. It's been quite a few good laps, low 43 lap times. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Samuel will be able to catch the guy in P15. So we're quite sure on pit road that we're gonna finish P16, but still we're encouraging him. Even with this overtake, 43.4 lap time, that's really good, and he is still catching a few people in front, so he might get a few more overtakes done in these couple of final minutes. I believe 7 more minutes to go, and then we'll be at the end of the race. As we're approaching the train, suddenly someone down the inside. There was not really that much room, but they don't make a mistake and they do it quite well. So Samuel has someone trying to overtake him, while now having someone in front. He has to overtake himself. Someone again in red, and in the group in front, 6 cars, 3 in red. He gets overtaken by someone that is quite quick. I've seen them before this race as one of the quickest teams, I believe, and they go past quite easily, but he can use that. Stick behind, get past the guy in white, and that's one overtake. 5 cars still in front. I don't know how many of them are quick. The guy with the yellow helmet just sending it down the inside of 2 guys in red. Samuel not daring to do the same thing. He does overtake one of them through the inside of the right-hander, but he's still there on the left. Although through the long left-hander they do overtake him again. He gets past the guy in blue. One of the guys in red on the right, that was the guy that we saw previously, shoves someone with a red helmet wide, and Samuel can go through there. But now he has 2 people in front fighting. One of them is quicker than him. You can see what traffic can do, how quickly you can lose time and how quickly you can catch back up. We've seen that of course in my previous stint, how battling does lose you a lot of time. But Samuel now looking for a move on the guy in the red jacket with a black helmet. He has some oversteer going through the left-hander here, but Samuel gives him a little bit tap on the back, gives him a bit more space. That means he can't go for the overtake and has to stick behind for a little bit longer. Samuel of course being a bit quicker than the guy in front, with 7 more laps to go after this one. Through the left right, a mistake from the guy in front, looking towards the inside, but this engine is very good, and through the final corner you can see him driving away. Samuel checking there's no one behind. 43.8 lap time, not that bad, and we're almost at the end of the race. The guys are standing there with the finish flag, everything ready to go for that final lap and then finish the race. Flag everyone into that finish. We're gonna have to wait for a little bit longer. And can Samuel still make that overtake on the guy in front? The gap seems quite stable, so he might not be able to go for it. The guy in front might have the pace on him a little bit, and that means we're gonna have to wait and see. Samuel very good through the left right though, but again you can see his engine's a bit better and there's no way to dive for the inside. Samuel always taking a lot of curb, especially when there's no tires there. You can use a lot of curb. 43.5 lap time. Guy in front you can see on the straight quite a bit quicker again. Definitely a lot of difference in the engine, but Samuel a lot better through the corners. He's quite a good karter, and that means he's gonna go when the guy makes a mistake, dive down the inside and gets through there. So that was a good overtake. Now he has to make sure that he doesn't get any ideas, doesn't use that engine to get back past, but I do think through the left right here Samuel does enough, and he can go and look if he can make 1 or 2 more overtakes before the end of the race. And then it's gonna be it. 5 more laps to go. We're almost there. We can see the finish line after almost 24 hours. We're almost there. Just 3 more minutes remaining and then we're gonna finish the race. It's been an incredible journey, and we'll talk talk about it afterwards, because of course we won't immediately end the video when we go across the line. We won't go into pit lane immediately. You'll see at the end someone right behind Samuel though. He made a tiny mistake. Everyone's getting quite tired. Even the karters are really tired. Everyone driving has been not awake for 24 hours, I hope, but a lot of them have been karting for so many hours today. I've done 3.5 myself, I think, if I calculated it correctly. Samuel also about 3 hours in the kart, 43.4 lap time, still doing those great laps, and he is now catching up with someone. It's the guy with the number 13 on the back. So even though it's the end of the race, couple more minutes to go, that doesn't mean we won't go as quick as we can, because we need to keep on pushing, need to keep on doing everything we can. Samuel trying to look for the inside, doesn't quite work out on the first time of asking, so he needs to wait a little bit longer. Through the long left-hander, diving down the inside, looks like the guy made some room, and now he is catching the next guy with the white helmet. Very good exit through the left right, and immediately passed through the final corner here, and we do see some people ahead. Might not be enough time to catch them, only a couple of laps to go, of course. That means we're gonna have some clean laps unless something happens. Maybe we do suddenly catch them, someone makes a mistake. We're just gonna enjoy these final couple of laps. The gap to P15 unfortunately has gotten a little bit bigger, between 30 and 40 seconds, so that means we're definitely not catching them. We're going to finish P16 overall, and I do think that's a really good finish. We'll still have to wait to make sure. We could technically still DNF, kind of. If we don't complete these laps, we'll still finish a couple of laps more down. That would cost us a few positions, but it doesn't look like it, unless of course the kart breaks down, but that is very unlikely. So let's just enjoy these final couple of laps, although we do seem to be catching someone in all black, so we might have one more overtake from Samuel here as we enjoy these final 2 laps, including this one. He is catching quite rapidly, so where I thought it would be a final couple of laps without any overtakes, there will be one more overtakes as a treat to you guys, as they go now on to that left right. Samuel catching up massively, making sure he has a better exit towards the final corner, and he'll look to the inside now of the final corner and then send it down the inside. Quite an easy overtake. The guy goes a bit wide, and I have made a custom graphic here. Final lap, just one more lap to go, and then we'll get that checkered flag. And despite 24 hours being quite a long time, not having that much sleep, it has flown by. This video series has flown by. It's been amazing, it's been a lot of fun, but this is going to be the end of it. Just a couple more corners to go, and then we'll get that checkered flag. No one close behind, and also quite a lot of space in front, so Samuel will finish on his own here. No one around him. Good to see how his final stint was very nice, very well driven. We go through the final corner and we take that checkered flag. There we go, a little bit of a celebration there from Samuel. Done really well, and we've really enjoyed that. And now we're gonna go, all the cars will line up, and we'll do a few celebratory laps, also with the winners carrying the Dutch flag, so that will be really cool, and we'll stay on board for that. But we've finished P16, our best finish as a team yet, so that's really encouraging to see, and we want to keep improving, keep getting better, as we have a red flag, making sure everyone lines up here. We're P10 in class, 6 pro teams in front. They don't have better cars, they just have a lot better drivers, and they race in their own class. We're in the fun class. We skip ahead a little bit, and we go with those Dutch flags in front, and we go and drive behind them. We have to wait a little bit because of the pictures being taken, but then my friend can join that queue, and we're gonna go for 2 laps, and then we'll be at the end of this Dutch 24 hours for this year. And it's really fun to see how they do this final couple of laps with the flags. Hopefully maybe one day we'll be able to also carry one of those flags as a team. I'd like to also do the final stint one day, maybe not for the win, I don't know, but just in this queue going past everyone who's supporting them, everyone cheering, everyone happy that we've made it to the end, that everything's okay with everyone. And that's been a good edition of this 24 hours. Our team on the right cheering on Samuel, he's also fist bumping, he's happy that it is over, and that is going to be it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video series. I hope you enjoyed this 24-hour race from Kart Centrum Lelystad. We're going to be back next year and we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna try to get even better than P10 in class. We'll have to wait and see. I'll practice in the meantime. I've not been karting that much, but I'll definitely try to go as much as I can. For now, we'll end the series here. We'll stay on board a little bit longer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like, and if you haven't seen the other parts, make sure you check them out. Subscribe to the channel for even more content, and for more videos next series will be at Team Sport Utrecht. And comment down below how you thought we did as a team, and you can of course compare it to last year's videos, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.